In a free market, as long as there are booms, there are also busts. The denizens of Cavalier Estates knew this, but there had never been quite a bust like the latest. Across the United States, what was once a promising economy entered a period of economic turmoil unseen since the Great Depression. Millions of Americans became unemployed and sadly, some of them lived in Cavalier. To recuperate themselves from the losses from the crisis, the people of Cavalier have taken into letting into their community what they never thought they would actually have to deal with: businesses. Although it certainly curtails the parsimonious nature of the neighborhood, business is now the only lifeline the people of Cavalier have to hold on to some sort of economic certainty. One-way ticket to success. Or so they say. When the economy is one of the variables that determines success, then not even education can sometimes save you from the whims of the market. After hard work at UChicago and in his very early work life, Lloyd now faces the reality of a crumbling economy. In the grand scheme of things, he controls very little.
Another Friday, another paycheck. I guess you can call it a paycheck seeing what little is left after all the bills. Why are there so many bills? It seems like when the accounts get smaller, the bills get bigger. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Here we are, Mr. Lloyd Barton. Thank the Lord, I finally got those pay incentives from my increased guitar sales at the store. Can you believe I sold 7 guitars the other day? These incentives are really paying off for my boss Cliff too. But then again, how long will it last? I did everything that I was told to do to attain success, but nothing lasted. Get a good education? Done. Land a job at a strong company? Done. Maybe that's where I went wrong. The financial industry wasn't necessarily the most stable. But then again, what is stability in the first place? My life is like a giant quagmire. I know no such thing as stability. At least I have a strong marriage. I can't say it's immune from arguments over my predicament. I can't help it that I spent what I did on all of the expensive life things. New look for my house, nice cars, nice clothes. I could afford all that stuff when I had a real job. Don't get me wrong, attending UChicago was a dream. I graduated towards the top of my class, had exceptional internships, and even landed the perfect job with Goldman Sachs right out of school. I was a member of the executive team for the new division of the company in my hometown. I was specialized in what I did, and I was one of the best. Maybe I was too specialized. The markets crashed, I guess about 65%. The company made huge cuts, including shutting down all new divisions of the company. Specializing in a field can be great if someone needs you. Otherwise, you're sunk. What other choice did I have but to take the first job I could land? The Guitar Center paid, and honestly, I'd take any money I could get my hands on. Still will too. Ah, here it is. Dinner. What a place. This is just a yard. But in my childhood, it was so much more. My friends and I climbed Mount Everest, fought off pirates, and even reenacted battles in this very yard. What times those were. Life was simpler, more optimistic with fewer bills. My parents would watch from the back window. When the sun would set, we would part, only to reunite the very next day. I always wished growing up to have a child one day who could run with his friends as I did. I wanted a child whose life was as happy as mine once was. Not all destinies come to fruition. I learned that the hard way.
While Lloyd worked, Brody continued being his usual partier self. After the crisis, that didn't seem to be a good thing. At all. Things went downhill very quickly toward the people in Cavalier. Brody still lives there, to much of his disliking. But I mean, it is something.
Why is it so cold out? I hate this type of weather. I never liked the cold. I think I got that from my father. He always preferred warmer places, which is why we always vacation down south. Never to Alaska, which is where I always wanted to go. Though I will say, this is some nice weather to enjoy a glass of bourbon. My father. My father. I can't believe I wanted to follow in that man's footsteps. I mean, my whole life was planned out because of him. I was going to go to his alma mater, Johns Hopkins, on a lacrosse and academic scholarship. Then I was going to take over his company. I was going to run that place and make me millions. But that didn't happen. Oh, man. But something else happened. I was kicked out of high school my senior year for hazing a freshman. He deserved it, though. He was a freshman on the varsity team. He thought he was all that, so I thought I'd give him a run for his money. It didn't work. He told the principal, and one thing led to another, and I was out. That's when I really got screwed over. I lost my scholarship to Johns Hopkins. My dad was pissed. No other college was willing to pick me up because of my past scandal. So I just went to community college. That was awful though, so I dropped out of that too. I just lost all will to work, so figured I'd live off my dad's money because he's super rich. That made him super mad though, but I still lived with him. One thing I noticed after staying home all that time was how bad the neighborhood was starting to get. But this part gets really fun. So one day I was watching TV and saw this commercial for Gulf Shores. I was like, man, I'm going there. So I sent a text to 3 of my bros saying, hey, we're gonna road trip down. They were in. So one day I stole my dad's Maserati. All 3 of us got in it. We went down. Man, was he super pissed at that too. I didn't care though. I pretty much heard everything he said to me already. So when I got home, I really wasn't that scared. But no, something else happened. He just left a note and the whole house was empty. On the note it said, we've packed up and moved to Punta Cana. It was weird how it ended though. It said good luck. I didn't really know what to think about that. I mean, I guess this trip is what pushed him over the edge. I didn't really care about that. But what I was super mad about was how they just left me on my own. Me, I turned out alright though. I didn't sell the house, so that's where I'm still living. I sold the Maserati to get some spending money, but even after the housing market crashed in the neighborhood, I just had to stay there. This is where I'm working now. I'm a manager, but that really doesn't mean anything. I mean, I've been offered some better positions, but that's so much more work that I just don't want to do. Why would I want to go anywhere else? I mean, this pays the bills and it's enough to get a 12-pack every night. There's really nobody left in the neighborhood. All my old pals, Cliff, Lloyd, all of them, they still don't talk to me, especially after that firework incident. I wonder what they're up to these days. I wonder what my parents are doing now. I haven't talked to them in a while, but last I heard they were still in Punta Cana. And my dad sold the company. Man, I was so mad about that. That was supposed to be mine. I was supposed to be running it. I was supposed to be making millions. But no, he goes off and sells it. He moved to Punta Cana, big deal. But the company, that was mine. Why can't people just stay out of my business? You know, everybody keeps asking me, when am I going to get a girlfriend? When am I going to get married? Has it ever crossed their mind that maybe I don't want that to happen? I mean, come on. Who wants a girlfriend or a wife? It's just fair to tie them down. I mean, I guess it would be nice to have somebody, though. Well, I better go. Before the liquor store closes, gotta pick up my 12-pack.
Though he never believed that he would amount to much, it seems that Cavalier, now more than ever, actually needs of Cliff Miller. I know, not even he can believe that.
Oh, hello. Yes, I'm Cliff Miller. An interview? Sure, I don't mind. How did I get in this position, you ask? Well, it all started a little after high school. An elderly man named Leroy Brown owned this establishment. He offered me a job as manager of the employees here at Guitar Center. He saw promise in me. We grew close over the years, and eventually he passed away. He had no wife or children, and his relatives had long since passed as well. He left most of what he owned at the time to me. He trusted me to do a good job with it all, and I think I have. I slowly acquired more property with the profit from what he had given me, and now I've made quite the name for myself. I must admit, since this wave of misfortune has struck our city, some of those companies have gone under. How has this business remained profitable? Well, when hard times hit, people have always turned to music to quell their fears and wash away their sadness. I see a young child fiddling with an instrument, and after making some pleasant sound, they smile. I love the atmosphere here and spend most of my time in this office, managing the various properties I own. This is my favorite establishment by far of all the ones I own. I think it would make Leroy happy to see what I've done with his properties. What of my employees? Well, we do have this guitar salesman, Lloyd Barton. He is a great employee. He knows how to play many instruments and helps keep the atmosphere alive, joyful even. That's something we all need in times like this. He also brings up ideas to me sometimes. I like a person with intuition. I see him as invaluable to our success. What has been my biggest problem? Well, this may not have been my own, but there was this one friend of mine who would always cause trouble for the old man. Brody Rutherford came in here one day and managed to knock down an entire display table. I'm talking 10 feet wide, 3 shelves, stacked top to bottom with instruments. Some people said that it looked like he did it on purpose. Apparently he tripped and broke 2 of the legs of the table in the process. This was enough to send every instrument toppling to the ground. Thankfully he wasn't injured, but after all that, I must admit, it would have served him right. Brody was always doing things like that in here. Sometimes it would be just stopping up an instrument to see someone look really confused when they tried to play it. Other times it would be adjusting instruments to the point that they would break or just sound awful when someone played them. He might even just slobber on a mouthpiece. Being a nuisance was one of the things he was best at. I would undo most of these things when I noticed him. Maybe that even is why Leroy decided I might be a good manager. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Brody in a long time. I wonder if he's alright. He always wanted to hang out with us. I felt sorry for the poor guy. Sometimes I would even spend time with him. Didn't give me the best name around town though. But thankfully people who knew me, at least a little, saw that he didn't influence me too greatly. That's all you have time for? Alright, feel free to come back anytime.
In the face of economic hardships, the prodigal son of Cavalier Estates has once again vowed to work together with the people of the community to improve the neighborhood.
Things are going great, finally. It seems like it took a bloody lifetime to get things right, but everything is going rather smoothly at the moment. Cliff Miller and I are really making strides in the neighborhood council. We have the support of almost the whole neighborhood now. All we have to do is execute and get things done. Since I've come back, I've really been looking for new endeavors, something to keep me going, something to really challenge me, and I bought 3 homes in the neighborhood and close to 5 years ago with the idea of flipping them for a little bit of profit. The money is nice, of course, but this place needs young, bright families with the right idea. Cavalier Estates is turning itself around, and to keep moving forward, we don't need more old buggers like the folks across the street. Of course, I can't control who buys the homes in this neighborhood, but I can sure as hell design them any way I like, and that's what I've done. I told Cliff of my plan to flip 3 homes, and he loved it. I guess we'll see what happens. I keep saying Cliff's name. That man is close. He's close to something good in life. He just needs to reach out and grab it. I like what he's doing with his businesses, though. He just needs a kickstart or something. I invested in a couple of his companies. I usually don't make blind investments, but I trust this man. This neighborhood it holds a special place in my heart. It's originally where I was from, and I will always love it here. I left my life in Liverpool where I was set, and I came back because this is where I belong.